Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-aliyyil azim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Sallallahu ala sayyidina wa nabiyyina Abil Qasim al-Mustafa Muhammad. وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين. Continuing our study of Mafatih al-Hayat by Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli, we reached chapter 2 about learning and knowledge, and we had already a few sessions. Today we discuss some of the sciences that we need to know. So there is a title here about some of the sciences which are needed. And the first is about religious sciences. He quotes a famous hadith from Imam Raza alayhi salam. Rahimallahu abdan ahya amrana. May Allah's mercy be upon the one who revives our affair. So it shows that you can believe in the teachings of Ahlul Bayt, you can believe in their affair, in their cause, but still this may not be something alive. You need to give life to this. It's very important. Ahya, you have to revive it. It's not enough that it's in the books and minds of people. It has to be living experience. So they asked, he says, فَقُلْتُ لَهُ كَيْفَ يُحْيِي أَمْرَكُمْ. How he can revive your affair? How he does it? قال يتعلم علومنا ويعلمها الناس. By learning our sciences, our knowledge, our teachings, and teaching people. So you have to learn the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam and teach it other people. فَإِنَّ النَّاسِ لَوْ عَلِمُوا مَحَاسِنَ كَلَامِنَا لَاتَّبَعُونَا. If people, and people here doesn't mean Shia. People means general public. It can be Sunni Muslims, or in our context can be even non-Muslims. Any person who is not from our community, if they come to know Mahasina kalamina, beautiful teachings of us, they would follow us. I have some ideas about this hadith that needs time to explain, but very briefly, it doesn't mean to say everything. You have to say something that for nas is mahasin. It's very important. If something we just Shia enjoy, or we just understand, this is not what if you share it with nas, they will follow Ahlul Bayt. They will actually maybe get troubled. What does it mean? Why are you saying this? Why are you doing this? You have to learn the teachings of Ahlul Bayt, but also learn hikmah. Ud'u ila sabil rabbika bil hikmah. Have the wisdom to know what teachings of Ahlul Bayt are appreciated by nas. And not only they say this makes sense, they say this actually makes lots of sense, and this is better than what I can find in other places. Then they will follow. But if you say something that will confuse them, or make them troubled or unhappy or angry, depending on different degrees, then how they are going to follow them? محاسن كلامنا, but for whom? Not for us. For nas also. Something that we enjoy, they enjoy. It's very important. Imam Askari alayhi salam said, ألا فمن كان من شيعتنا عالما بعلومنا. Be aware, the one who is from our Shia and knows our sciences, our teachings, is alim بعلومنا. فهدى الجاهلة بشريعتنا, and he guides someone who doesn't know our Sharia, means Sharia as taught by Ahlul Bayt. وَأَرْشَدَهُ وَعَلَّمَهُ شَرِيعَتَنَا. He guides, he helps that person to find the path, teaches him Sharia. And you know, this concept of ta'aleem is very important. Ta'aleem is not just to pass on information. And even it's not just to make sure that they remember. This is not ta'aleem. Ta'aleem is not, let me give you this example. If I have a garden and I have planted flowers in this garden, these flowers have grown in my soil. If I cut the flower and give it to someone else, this flower is not going to remain. It's going to die and dry. Even if that person keeps that dried flower in his room, it's not a flower, and soon becomes dust. Knowledge is that I have grown in my heart something beautiful, and I'd help you to grow it into your heart so that it will remain for you. This is ta'aleem. Ta'aleem is not just, giving information. It's very important. It's from heart to heart, but passing through minds. Not mind to mind only. Heart to heart, but passing through minds. This is ta'aleem. Ta'aleem for the teachings of Ahlul Bayt. Ta'aleem of physics and science is something else. But ta'aleem for something which is faith, which is nur, cannot be mind to mind only. So, Imam Askari alayhi salam says, if someone does guidance and ta'aleem of people who don't know, كان معنا في الرفيق الأعلى. He would be with us in the high position in heaven with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's nearness. May Allah inshallah give us tawfiq to be either like this or at the service of people who are like this. Among things which are very highlighted is teaching the Quran. Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam was very particular about teaching his children the Quran. Of course, starting with qira'ah, although they were Arabs, they were fasih, but you need to be trained. كان أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام ليأمر ولده بقراءة المصحف. He was asking them to recite Mus'haf, and he was teaching them or asking, for example, Ahlul Bayt, for example, we have a story that a person taught a child of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, a person called Abdul Rahman Sullami taught a child of Imam Hussein alayhi salam Suratul Hamd. It means that Imam even had asked someone to teach his children. Because sometimes either you are busy or sometimes your children learn from another person better than you, even if you are a scholar. Because there is kind of informality. Sometimes it's better if someone else teaches them. Of course, this child of Imam Hussein, it doesn't mean Imam Sajjad, it means another child. So this Abdul Rahman Sullami taught Surah Hamd to the child of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and when the child read for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Imam Hussein alayhi salam gave him 1,000 dinar and 1,000 dress of honor. The hadith is this. It's in Manaqib by Ibn Shahrashub. إن عبد الرحمن السلمي علم ولد الحسين عليه السلام الحمد فلما قرأها على أبيه أعطاه 1,000 دينار و1,000 حلة. Conversation continues. Then people were surprised why Imam Hussein is so generous. And Imam Hussein said, أين يقع هذا من عطائه يعني تعليمه. How can I compare this with his gift to me? He has taught my child Suratul Hamd. So teaching Quran is very important. Teaching Hadith is very important. We have recommendation about teaching Hadith. For example, I mention only one Hadith that Imam Baqir alayhi salam said, تنازعوا في طلب العلم. Compete. Maybe the best translation for tanazu here is compete. Don't compete for money. Don't compete for anything else. Compete for taqwa. Compete for doing good. Compete for learning. وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ. Imam Baqir alayhi salam says, by the one in whose hand my life lies, لَحَدِيثٌ وَاحِدٌ في حلال وحرام تأخذه عن صادق. One hadith about halal and haram that you take it from a person who is sadiq. It's very important. From whom you are receiving your knowledge. He doesn't say just learning hadith. Learning hadith from a person who believes in what he says. A reliable person. خير من الدنيا وما حملت من ذهب وفضة. It's better than the whole dunya and whatever dunya carries from silver and gold. We cannot understand such hadith unless you know two things. Because you will be surprised, how can one hadith be better than that whole dunya? You can only understand if you consider two things. One is that dunya has no value. Mata'un qalil. Second, everything in akhirah is great. Everything spiritual is great. Unfortunately, we don't understand the greatness of spiritual gifts, and we think dunya is very great, so we are surprised how you can give 1,000 golden coin to someone just teaching Surah Hamd. How can learning one hadith be better than the whole world? Actually, this means that you cannot compare them. You cannot compare them. For example, if I tell you, what is the value of your father or your child? $1 million, $1 billion. You say, why you are offending me? You think, who am I? You think I don't have any love for my father or children? You are asking me about money? You are offending me. So much more than this is about religion, is about reward, about knowledge, and so on and so forth. Teaching fiqh is very important. I only mentioned one hadith and I finish. Inshallah, we continue tomorrow. And this hadith is about a person who told Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, you have heard this hadith. Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, inni uridu tijara. I want to do trade, business. Of course, in Islam, tijara is one of the good things that you can do. There are some types of occupations which are recommended, like farming, agriculture, but also tijara is good. But Imam said, أَفَقِهْتَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ. Have you learned Islam properly, especially ahkam about tijara? Have you learned them properly? قَالَ يَكُونُ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ. He said, I do some business, then inshallah, when I have established, I get chance, and then I learn Islam. Many people say like this, say, inshallah, later we do, things and fix things. قال ويحك الفقه ثم المتجر. First you have to learn your religion, you have to learn your rulings, then you do tijara. Like if you want to do any business, you have to first learn the regulations. Regulations of the government, regulations of that field, also regulations of your faith. فَإِنَّهُ مَنْ بَاعَ وَاشْتَرَى وَلَمْ يَسْأَلْ عَنْ حَرَامٍ وَحَلَالٍ ارْتَطَمَ فِي الرِّبَى ثُمَّ ارْتَطَمَ. The one who sells and buys but doesn't ask about haram or haram would be immersing and sinking into riba usually. You don't want to do riba, but you never thought this can be riba or any other problem, but riba is very important, of course, to avoid. So it's very important among things that we learn in religion, especially every person learns those masail that can be applicable to you. Say mubtala bih, anything which is applicable or might be applicable to you that sometimes you don't guess, but if someone like you has to know, you have to learn. You find in Risalah, you don't need to know all the Risalah, but every person has to learn those questions that are applicable. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the gift of learning and teaching in the way that the prophets and imams have taught us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give shifa to all people who are ill. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this month of Ramadan to give us tranquility and patience. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send His rahmah and maghfirah to all mu'mineen, especially our ulama, our martyrs, our parents, and any person who has rights upon us. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.